What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you can tell, I did a thing. Pulled the trigger on GSPro. Basically, this video is just the announcement video. I literally just bought it yesterday, so this is only the second day. Ended up playing 54 holes on top of hitting a bunch of balls yesterday on the range to try to get everything figured out. So feeling kind of sore from yesterday, but this video is just going to be obviously the announcement. You guys are seeing the range on GSPro, at least you should be. Hopefully everything's working correctly. I'm going to go through my warm-up. I just hit one single 60 degree just to make sure it worked, and it does. Basically, I'm just going to warm up, hit some shots on the range, kind of explain why I bought this, some of the things I've been experiencing in the past day, and I'm sure I'll forget some stuff, so let me know down in the comments any thoughts, comments. I know the camera angle's a little bit different. I'm not dead set. I was moving that yesterday a little bit. Had a little bit more down the line yesterday, but I think there, where it is a little bit more to the right, kind of similar to what it was before. Obviously it's portrait mode now, but I can move that. So if you guys have any questions, any comments, if you want me to change things around, let me know. Have my laptop set up over here. So as you can see, we're on the range at GSPro. I know the left side of the screen is going to be getting cut off because of the video. Also, real quick, I have multiple fans going. I have my laptop over here connected to power. I have a cooling pad underneath, which is blowing air up for the laptop. I have it in like a makeshift shade cover over here, so it's kind of enclosed to keep the sun off of it. And I also have a smaller fan over here that's basically blowing extra air onto it. So when I walk over to the computer, you may hear a little bit of fan noise, but basically we're on the range. It's set all the way to 416, which I've never and likely will never hit in my life, but we're going to bring it back. Just going to start off with a 60 degree. Set this, I guess 22 on the slider is as low as you can go. I can set this though, I think, to 15 or not. Oh, well, 22 looks like the lowest, so we're gonna hit some 60s. Got all the metrics over there on the right side, you guys can see. So basically, might as well hit a shot, you guys can see it, and then I'll explain kind of what's been going on. This little 60 degree should be about 15 or so yards. What do we get on that? 20, 15 of carry. So basically, if you guys saw the Garmin R50, that video I did about the patent, possibly a new unit coming, I've been debating possibly looking for an upgrade. I was, for a while, definitely, I've been going back and forth with what I want. I was considering relatively seriously for a while the MLM2 Pro, and eventually I came down to either getting the MLM2 Pro or possibly going to GSPro, and I figured MLM2 Pro, it seems really good, but you got to use the balls, and again, like I mentioned in that R50 video, go check that one out. You gotta have the stupid $200 subscription, so you have to have the $200 subscription to even really use it. And then on top of that, going to something like GSPro, that's an extra $250 a year. I ended up going with the lifetime, which was $550. So basically, it's the annual $250, and then you save $50 by doing it in the first place. But essentially, I could stop after a year and just lock in whatever version of GSPro I currently have after a year and use that in perpetuity. But it was down to those two, and I figured I'm hoping that Garmin comes out within 6 months, ideally a couple months, but 6 months to a year with a new unit, depending on that price point. I figured if they're going to do something and I'm eventually going to upgrade anyways, GSPro is the pretty much gold standard right now of simulator software, so if I was going to upgrade a unit, I would want GSPro anyways, so figured I'd go there, get some more life out of the R10. I would probably never even sell the R10 anyways. I still have the Home to Hero subscription. You guys will be seeing some of those videos that I already recorded over the next couple days, maybe the next week or so. Basically, going forward, I'll hit a few more shots. Going forward, obviously, so I can kind of get my money's worth out of the GSPro money that I spent, which was not cheap, considering I didn't have a gaming computer and I need basically a laptop to come out here. Did that one register or not? I may not have grounded the club enough behind it. That one went. Alright, basically, going forward, it's going to be primarily GSPro videos. So the Villages series is on hold. Any of you that put in course requests, there was not many left for Home to Hero, and for people that did, like Graylum and Uneven Par, I played multiple of those. So I may get back to those eventually, but basically the plan is to play primarily GSPro courses going forward, and then I want to continue on with the PGA Tour series. So if they don't have the course in GSPro, I'll break out Home T Hero again and play that course on there. But so basically what I had to do to get this all going is, first and foremost, I had to get a laptop. So shout out to Punch Greens Golf for helping me with figuring out kind of what I needed, what was the best case going forward. I ended up getting a brand new laptop. It has a RTX 4070 graphics card, the laptop version. I was debating getting a actual console or like a regular type of gaming computer. They're a lot cheaper, and the actual gaming big consoles, they have better components, the graphic cards are better, but it would have been even more of a pain to lug out that thing every single time, plus a monitor and everything else. So I went with the laptop 4070, a little bit more than I really wanted to spend and was anticipating spending, but I figured if I'm going to do it, I want to do it right and try to future-proof the graphics card. When I was doing the research, they have all the benchmarks on everything. Basically, this 4070 is a top 3 laptop chip. I think it goes 4090, 4080, and then as the most powerful, fastest graphics for laptops, and then goes down to 4070, which is comparable to, I believe, the 3080 Ti or the 3090 Ti. I'm pretty computer, especially gaming computer illiterate, so again, shout out to Punch Greens for helping me out with that. Also, shout out to Joe Legowski for all the great GSPro videos. Really helped me with my decision and got me up and running right away. Kind of hit the ground running as soon as I paid for GSPro and got this yesterday. What else? That's enough 60s. We'll go to 56. Still warming up. So basically, just warming up here. I'll hit some more longer clubs. When I got this yesterday and I paid for it, brought it out here, like I said, I hit a ton of balls on the range. I'm still kind of sore from yesterday. Hit a ton of balls on the range trying to get the distances dialed in, and then I ended up playing 54 holes to try to figure out all the screen recording settings and everything else. I think I have everything dialed in. So this laptop computer, which most of them are, unless you're spending multiple thousands of dollars for a 4K screen, this laptop has a 1080p screen. So I'm playing GSPro on 1080p Ultra for all of you GSPro people out there that are familiar, and then I'm screen recording in 4K. There is a way I was able to figure out the screen recording in 4K, and for older laptops it seems there's a way to basically upscale GSPro. So in the future I may try to play in 4K Ultra, but from what I saw yesterday, I went in and did like a test edit. Everything looks really good, and it's, I mean, leaps and bounds better than Home T Hero. As for the distances and the setup, basically all you need to get going is laptop, GSPro subscription, which is easy. Obviously you got to pay for it, but easy enough to download and get everything set up. And then I have a direct connection. Joe Legowski has a few videos on that, which really helped out. I have a direct connection it's a free piece of software you just download. It's really easy. So I have the R10 directly connected to my laptop, so it works really well. And with that direct connection, there's a notepad file where you can change the weather settings. So I put in my regular 5,200 feet of the altitude, 65% humidity, and 85 degrees. I hit a bunch of shots, and I don't know if it's setup particular or basically every setup is different. I'm gonna move this back to about 30 with this 56. Go 32. I don't know if it's setup dependent, but when I did those settings in the notepad, I came out and all the wedges were spot on. Pitching wedge was spot on. 9-iron and 8-iron were pretty close, but then similar to before the weather settings came out, and if I just did my local weather settings here, the longer clubs, you would see I was seeing a big drop off in distance. So what I had to do was change the global elevation settings within GSPro. So I have the notepad settings. I have a feeling those don't really change anything and if they do, it's very minimal. So I have those like I mentioned, and then I changed also GSPro to 5200, and it seems like everything is back spot on to what I was seeing in Home T Hero, what I see on course, and what I've seen from other simulators I've used, such as like indoor places around here that have overhead unicores and whatnot. I still think, for whatever reason, I think the R10 radar generally reads slower than camera-based anyways for swing speed and club speed, but considering I got to go up to 5,200 feet, I remember hearing Joe Legowski say both in GSPro, any of the simulator software, and even on course if you like travel like to like Colorado or something, every 1,000 feet of altitude is about 2%. So at 5,200 feet, I'm right at about 10%, which obviously for a 56 degree, which I usually hit right around 30, that's only going to be a few yards, but that makes up a big difference in the longer club, especially driver, hybrids, 4-5 iron, etc. That brings me back up to where the distances I play on course and whatnot. So but as you can see, I mean, I had one no read all day yesterday from all the shots I hit. This R10 direct connect to the PC works really, really good. Trying to think, I had a lot that I was trying to remember to talk about, but I think that's basically the majority of it. Basically, again, I was down to possibly upgrading the R10, decided on GSPro. The courses and graphics look amazing. I'll go into a few more shots now. So that was 60 and 56. I'm going to go to pitching wedge. Generally, this is my 130, 135 club, so I'm going to move this green back again. I was looking last night for a few different, set it to 135, a few different poking around GSPro and seeing what's out there. This is the main range where you go in, you can like do online play practice, like the range or just courses. This is the main GSPro range, but there's another, I think 2 or 3 that I have saved, and nowadays a lot of the new courses and some of the ones over the past year or so, from what I've seen, a lot of those courses, when the designers do them, they also include a range with those. So if you go and play a round, you have an option for a lot of them to select, either go right into the round and start on the first tee, or you can go to the specific drive range for that course, which is really cool. But for the most part, if I'm coming out to practice or doing any kind of video like this, you'll probably be seeing this range, the regular GSPro range. So pitching wedge here, as you guys have seen, still kind of, again, sore. This is my first real swing. This probably won't go, depending on how I hit it, quite my 135, but yeah, 130, 135 club. We'll see what we get out of this with my settings the way they are. A little bit toey, pulled it just a little bit, and it is going left. And we got, yeah, I mean, spot on, 128 of carry, caught it just a tad heavy, 133 total. You can see all those metrics out of there. Again, I'm still going to a little bit of the fade, experimenting with that this year. I don't know what the club path was on that one, probably wasn't super great, but as you can see, once you tinker with things a little bit, distances are right spot on from what I play on course, and that was hit a little bit better, but still left. All the distances are spot on for what I play on course and what you guys have been seeing in Home T Hero over the past couple of years. So 137 on that one. The 5200 on top of the notepad settings with the connector, that may be a little bit still on the high, a little bit on the high side. So I may bring those back down a little bit once I play with these newer clubs to me, the 770s and the 790 combo set on course. If I see that I'm wildly off, I don't think I will. I'll adjust things, but from the few times I have played on course with these and all the rounds back here, plus the other, that was popped up a little bit. That one won't go quite as far, but it was relatively straight. Probably fade a little bit. Distances are spot on. So again, I don't have the most faith in the world about the club speed and the ball speed. I think it's definitely on the lower side, hence the having to bump up the altitude, but it is what it is. Let's go to pitching wedge. We'll go 7. So usually this is, I've been playing it to about 180, 185. We'll see what we get on some of these strikes. Don't want to hit a ton of shots right now because I do, like I said, I'm going to plan on playing 2 rounds right after this. So decent, a little bit low, kind of a low left launch on it. Forgot to move the green back, but it is what it is. And right there, so 184 carry, 187 total. That was hit kind of lower and thin, hence a little bit more of a distance on that one. But if we set this to 185 and I hit it a little bit more up in the air, should see right around that number. Oh, that was chunky. That's not going to be 185. $177, so only 164 carry on that one. 177, hit that one fat. Garmin still, for the past couple years and for what you can still get it at, right around $600, does a really good job. Obviously just side spin being the one main downside, but on the ones that the Garmin doesn't read quite correct, you guys will be able to see, I'll have these same metrics up both for here and on course videos. If the side spin reads 0 and the spin axis reads 0, basically that means Garmin slightly didn't get it. And when it doesn't quite register the shot correctly or get all the data correctly, it just ends up with a dead straight shot, which isn't the best. Obviously, if you're trying to improve, whether you're a really skilled golfer or not, you want to get the most accurate information possible. So that was hit better, but that's gonna fade a decent amount. Want to get the most accurate information possible, but one of the main reasons I went over to GSPro was wanting to up the difficulty a little bit in Home to Hero. As you guys know, over the past 2 years that I've done the videos, a lot of you guys I'm sure are R10 users. Home to Hero can be pretty forgiving. It bails you out, at least I felt like, on some bad shots. When I hit it good, hit it bad, or somewhere in between, I want to know for sure. So definitely GSPro, as you guys will see in future videos, a lot more difficult and a lot more realistic playing. The next step will eventually be getting a more accurate higher end launch monitor. When that will be, I'm not sure, but it was chunky. Also right. Checking the camera, looks like we're still good. So about 15 minutes in, I think that's about it. Besides, one thing I did want to try and tell you guys about. So I mentioned a few videos ago, I ordered something for my driver. Graylam had a good guess about the basically driver pylons to work on swing path. It wasn't quite that. So what I did was, as you guys know, I've been pretty hot and cold with this Stealth 2 Plus since I've got it. What I did was order 2 back weights that are heavier to try to adjust things a little bit. So my thinking is, I still have the 3-wood shaft in here. When you cut down a shaft or switch out to a shorter one, it changes the swing weight. So you basically, if you're going to do it right, and if you had someone professionally do it, they add weight either back to the shaft or to the head, etc. And because I've been a little bit or a lot all over the place, generally, or basically what I was trying to do is make this into a higher MOI, more forgiving, almost like a QI10 type of driver. So the way this is set up, it comes with a 15-gram sliding weight right in the middle, and then originally it also had a 15-gram back weight. So what I did was I ordered a 23-gram weight and I ordered a 30-gram weight. This is literally my first swing with it, so we'll see how it goes. It does feel a little bit heavier, and just from holding the 2 in my hand, definitely a pretty big difference between 15 and 23, and I could tell a difference too, even from the 23 to the 30. So I'm going to start off with this 23. It should, in theory, have weight more, obviously heavier weight more in the back, should stabilize the driver, make it not twist as much. If you guys have seen those videos with the QI10 with the 10,000 MOI, basically the heavier weight in the back brings back, I guess, the CG location, and on off-center hits it doesn't twist as much. So that's kind of my hope. This is literally the first swing with it, so Graylam he was the only one that guessed. It was a good guess, but not quite correct. So have a lot going on with all the new stuff back here, but let's see how this goes. We'll move the range back, set it to about 260. So generally here and on course, I carry it on decent shots. Obviously I'm all over the place, but generally I carry it anywhere from 220, 230 to up to about 250, 260 if I really hit it good and launch it good. And on average, it rolls out anywhere from 240 to 280, depending on strike. So we'll see if I can tell a difference here with the heavier weight and what we get out of this. Definitely can feel some extra weight down in the head. That was slicey. That was off the heel. That first swing though, it felt like I had a better control of and a better feel for where the club head was. I think because I switched over to the 3-wood shaft, and in general when I had the regular shaft in here, for whatever reason, I don't know, I guess the carbon fiber is lighter. I don't know if this head in particular, I was trying to look up the information, I couldn't quite find it, but I have a feeling this head is a decent amount lighter than my old Sim 2 was. So I've been having a tough time just at the top of the swing and coming through, really feeling where the club head is, which is hence why I've been all over the face. So I think the little bit heavier will help with that. That one, it was decent. I sliced it, but 99 club speed again, I think that's a little bit low. 142 also, I think that was low, but it is what it is. 244 carry, kind of like what I was saying, rolled out 20 yards. All depends on the firmness of the greens and whatnot. If you're playing on course in a real wet day, obviously it's just going to land and not roll out anywhere, but see if I can get a couple more decent swings. Alright, that was low toe-ish. Should be similar though. That was decent. I have a feeling this is going to be a pretty worthy upgrade, and these things were only $7 a piece for these weights. Obviously there's not a whole lot to them, but hence why I bought two. I may experiment if I feel like the 23 I'll probably settle on. I'll eventually put the 30 gram in to see if I like that better, and then they also had options in between. 30 was the heaviest, so I went with that. 23 heavier obviously than the 15, and then they have options too. I think they have the 15, which is standard. You can go lighter, and then they also had, I think, in 2 gram increments, so like 15, 17, 19, 21. We'll see if I end up getting those two, but I got them on AliExpress from China. So ooh, that was actually hit decent. All right, either I'm swinging it decent or this drive, the extra weight, is helping me out. I think I'll probably end it on that one. That was hit decent and it should be pretty straight. What we get out of that? 262 total. Take that all day long. So I think those are the big main announcements I wanted to get across. Apologies if I know the computer's over there, my clubs are back there. I gotta adjust to where this camera is. I have it set up here. Again, if you guys want, yesterday I had it more to your left, so it was a little more down the line, but I think I had it too much kind of behind me, so I was getting looked like on video it was a little bit cut off and you were seeing too much of my back. So I could potentially move, kind of split the difference in between this one and that one, move it directly behind the R10, directly behind this mat, so like right about there, and that will be directly down the line if you guys want to see that, if you think that would be a better viewing angle. But I think I'm going to wrap this one up and launch up 2 courses. First one is, if you guys want to take a guess down below what you think my first course will be on camera here. My one hint is that I've played it before on the channel, so obviously tons of courses to pick from. That's not very descriptive, but you guys can take a guess of what you think the first round would be. You should be seeing it the very next video after this, and then from here going forward, again, I have a few Home to Hero rounds, one that I'm really excited about putting out, but a few Home to Hero rounds you'll see in between, and then basically from probably 2 weeks from now going forward, it's going to be probably 90% GSPro. So definitely more fun for me out here, more of a process setting up, but more fun playing experience. Should be a much better viewing experience for you guys. And all in all, I'm pretty happy with, again, a lot of money for what I did, but I was able to keep using the R10. I think it's a worthy upgrade, and I think channel-wise and for you guys should be a good thing going forward for the videos. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Again, if I forgot anything, I'll put it down in the comments. If you guys have any questions, any comments, good, bad, or indifferent, let me know down below. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up. Again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Amazon links down below in the description. I'd appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.